team that won the state championship, the team that won the Northwest Regionals, to become the first Little League team from Montana to qualify for the World Series. And all they did at the World Series is make it all the way to the National Championship game. Are you ready to meet the players? Up first at just 4 feet 8 inches tall, only 74 pounds, one of the smallest players at the 2011 Little League World Series. He made some spectacular plays at second base. They call him the spark plug of the team. He's a 6th grader at Boulder Elementary. Let's meet number 1, Connor Kickbush. Up next, he had 2 hits in the second game of the regionals. He made that great diving catch in the semifinals against California, one of the top defensive players at the World Series. He's a 7th grader at St. Francis. Number 2, Jeff Campbell. He's one of the fastest players on the team. Used a lot as a pitch runner. He's most famous for being called safe at first base after being tripped in the 3rd inning against California. He's a 6th grader at Poly Drive Elementary. Let's meet number 4, Gabe Seltzer. In the opening game at regionals against Wyoming, he would combine with Cole McKenzie on a no-hitter. And then in game 1 of the World Series, he had a big hit against South Dakota. He's a 7th grader at Lewis and Clark Middle School. Let's meet number 5, Ian Leatherberry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the catcher. He had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the team's win over Idaho at the regionals. And how about that play he made from behind the plate in the World Series semifinals? He's a 7th grader at Lewis and Clark. Let's meet number 10, Andy Mayall. Up next, he's an outstanding outfielder. In game 1 of the World Series against South Dakota, he had a tremendous catch and a ball hit deep into center field. Plus, he was the 2nd leading hitter on his team during that amazing World Series run. He's a 7th grader at Lewis and Clark. Number 12, Brock McDonald. At the regionals in San Bernardino, California, he had 2 hits against Idaho. He also has a great glove, and Coach Carlson says he does whatever it takes to help his team. He's a 7th grader at Lewis and Clark. Number 13, Pierce Hurst. All across Montana, all across the nation, they're still talking about that thrilling walk-off home run that this next young man hit in the semifinals to beat Huntington Beach, California, and send Billings, Montana into the National Championship game. He's an 8th grader at Lewis and Clark. Give it up for number 15, Ben Asklison. Time to meet the man who covers first base. And how about the great play he made in the 5th inning of the semifinals against California when he scooped up the ball out of the dirt to make the out. He's a 6th grader at Rose Park, number 16, Dawson Smith. meet number 17. Every sports fan in America now knows who number 17 is. His dramatic grand slam home run in the regionals sent Billings to their first ever Little League World Series. At regionals, he hit an amazing .684. In Williamsport, he hit .500. He was the winning pitcher in the semifinals at the World Series. An 8th grader at Lewis and Clark, number 17, Cole McKenzie. Up next, he hit .357 in regionals, was on the mound in that all-important regional championship game where he only gave up 1 run through 5 innings to pitch his team to Williamsport. He was also the winning pitcher against Louisiana. He's an 8th grader at Lewis and Clark, number 19, Patrick Zimmer. Last but not least, it's time to meet the closer. He was on the mound when the game ended in the regional finals against South Dakota and Louisiana, as well as that big win over California. Check this out. In 5 appearances, he did not give up an earned run. An 8th grader at Lewis and Clark, number 21, Sean Jones. Meet the coaches, assistant coach Tom Zimmer. And assistant coach Mark Kickbush. And the manager of the first Little League team from Montana to ever qualify for the Little League World Series. Give it up for Mr. Gene Carlson. Here they are, Billings, your hometown heroes, the Big Sky All-Stars.
How do you like us now? Yeah, how do you like us now? Cowboys 3-8. Used to think we're lazy, standing here today. Montana boys don't give up, and we've always dreamed about living in this moment. How do you like us now? When we squared off with the Rapid team, we knew that they'd be tough and mean. They never imagined we'd make it too far. Lafayette was next for another win. We'll never forget Patrick's grin when he tagged that guy for the final game out. California played rough, tried to trip our team up, and the coach was kicking the ball.